Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Yes, indeed, it is me, your saltwater guy, Captain Dave Hansen. Check out the new look. What do you think? Kelly had enough of picking up my hair off the ground at our house. She'd had enough. So here it is, the new look, the once a year haircut. Hopefully, it'll be grown back in by showtime in March. But gang, brand new hairdo for a brand new show. Can you believe it? I cannot believe it, but I let her cut it all off, didn't I, baby? We filled up a nice trash can full of hair today. It's a little different. It's a little cooler now down here in Cabo, but we're ready to go. It is Monday, gang. Thanks for joining us today. Don't be afraid. It is me. Those of you that are just logging on and haven't seen me for a couple of days, yes, it is me with the new hairdo. The best hairdo, the easiest hairdo. We get a haircut once a year, whether we need to or not, and we just got it. So here we go. Baja Jerky Monday. Always talk about some Baja Jerky products before we get started. Today we're talking about Current. We had a few emails come in. I'm asking for suggestions. So today we're talking about, one of the emails came in talking to me about Current and how to adjust and how to fish it and all that stuff. So we'll talk about that in 1 minute. Baja Jerky. Don't forget, go to BajaJerky.com. We've got several different flavors of Baja Jerky. The dried mango is insane. If you haven't tried the dried mango yet, you're going to love it. The sweet orange is my favorite. If you like some spice, you're going to love these guys. The crackle and pepper, this stuff is hot. And then you got the beef sticks, the natural, the original flavor. BajaJerky.com. Put in the code YSWG and the number 30. You're going to save 30% on your Baja Jerky. And you're going to need that Baja Jerky now that you're members of my website. You don't suck at fishing anymore. And you need some protein, and that's where Baja Jerky is going to come in and help you with that protein. You're going to have some of that Baja Jerky on your boat, and it's going to help you out tremendously as you get hooked up to those big fish. So go to BajaJerky.com, type in YSWG and the number 30, and that'll save you 30% on your order, and you'll get it shipped straight to your house. All right, gang. That being said, I know you're still shocked about the haircut. Those of you that are just getting in here, take it easy. I'm reading your comments. It's going to be okay. It's still me. So Current, we're going to talk about Current today. Current is super important for fishing when you're fishing along the coast or you're fishing at the islands. Current is not tide, and tide is not current. They're totally, it's in a trash can. That's where all my hair went, Andrew. It's in a trash can. Your dad will be very happy when I come out on the boat. He won't be picking up Captain Dave's hair all day. Everybody that I've fished with, you know, that's always a big deal. Everyone talks about it. My God, you shed more than my dog. Well, we won't be having that problem at our house for a while. Kelly got rid of all that hair this morning. So we'll keep going, though. So the current is super important when you're fishing the islands or you're fishing the coast. It's not so important when you're offshore fishing that bluefin, although it comes into play when you're offshore fishing marlin and you're offshore looking for kelp patties. But we could have a whole 5-hour show about how the current affects the open ocean. But gang, when you're fishing on the coast or you're fishing at Catalina or San Clemente Island or the Coronados and you're anchored up and you're fishing, the number one thing you have to have is current in order to catch fish. Now, nobody knows what causes current. No one knows the true cause of the current. You can kind of guesstimate. You can think it's wind, or you can think it's tide, or you can think it's all kinds of things. But here's where it really makes you wonder, makes you scratch your head, if you will. We can be fishing at a place called White Rock at San Clemente Island, and the current can be non-existent. And we can go a mile east or south, if you will, down the island to a place called Persane Rock, and the current can be smoldering uphill. It can be going 1.5 knots uphill. Now, remember, a Above that, there was zero current. Then we can go another mile below that to a place called Mesquite, and the current smoldering uphill at Persane Rock. A mile east of that, the current could be going downhill at Mesquite. But one thing I can promise you is if there isn't any current, there's a very, very slim chance of getting a bite. Now, the question that we were asked and we were talked about is, how do I approach the kelp if the current's flowing in a certain direction? Well, if you go to our website, yoursaltwaterguide.com, on our spots videos, I don't just give you GPS numbers. What I do is I break it down, each and every spot we talk about. We take a few minutes at each and every spot with over 1,000 spots on the spots videos. It's kind of cool to take 5 minutes out of each one and explain to you how it has to be. How, if you're fishing at San Mateo kelp, you want a downhill current. If you're fishing at the lower end of San Onofre, you want an uphill current. If you're fishing at Black Rock at Catalina, you want an uphill current. All this stuff matters. The spots matter, which way the current's flowing, how the fish are going to bite. And how did we learn all that? Well, unfortunately, we did it by trial and error and fishing for 100 years and listening to the old timers that would talk about it before they had all these super devices that you could check all this stuff. The old timers figured this out, and then I was lucky enough to be kind of partially old school starting out in the 70s. Got to use some of that information and found out how important it is to understand the way that the currents flow and where you want to be positioned on your boat. So let's just say that this rag right here is the kelp at Green Tanks at La Jolla. Over here is Mexico. Over here is LA. The coast is inside here. The current's going from LA to Mexico. That's a downhill current. Bingo. That is the number one current for 99.9% of the spots in Southern California. If you have a downhill current, that's the water's flowing from LA to Mexico. That's phenomenal. This is the kelp bed. It looks just like this, laying here, like this. This upper edge of the kelp right here, this is downtown. This is super area. This is where you want the back of the boat to be. You want to be able to cast to this corner of the kelp. The coast is over here. The outside edge of the kelp is out here. Currents flowing from LA to San Diego. This is downtown. All the fish in the kelp, as soon as the current starts to flow, they're going to swim all the way up to this up corner of the kelp, the furthest spot to the west or north, if you will. That's where they're all going to head. If you've ever fished, for example, if you've ever fished a lake or, a stream or a river, you know the easiest places to fish are where the river's not flowing. You can throw your bobber in there and sit there all day. One thing you won't have to worry about, though, is fish. It'll be easy to fish, but you won't ever have to worry about catching because the fish aren't living where the water's not moving. First of all, there's no oxygen. Second of all, there's no food. Fish are going to be where the flow is. Same thing in the ocean. As soon as the flow starts to happen, the bigger fish in the kelp bed are going to move to that upper outside corner of the kelp right here, this corner, this upper edge. Every day is different. Every current is different. The way that the wind's blowing is different. But downtown is downhill current, northwest wind. This outside corner's downtown. This is where all the big fish are going to be. There's going to be plenty of smaller fish in the kelp that are going to be moseying around, not understanding, but all your big fish are coming out to this outside corner because they know that's where that food's going to be coming by. They know. Now, how do I know where these spots are, Dave? Well, you're a member of my website, so you don't even have to ask that. Those of you that aren't a member of my website, what you have to do is fish for boats. So you have to go out there and find out where the sport boats are, and then you have to wait for them to move so you can slide into their spot and see if they left you any scraps. But those of us that are involved in Your Saltwater Guide, the website, my website, the one that actually teaches you how to not fish for boats and how to fish for fish, I explain to you each and every individual spot up and down the California coast and out at the islands. And I explain to you that you don't fish for boats ever. If we see a bunch of boats anchored up at San Onofre, we don't go there. We go to a different area. They got there early. They got there before us. They deserve that area, and we don't want to go poaching on their spots. So we go look for our own fish, and we go look for our own spots. You want to know how to fish that upper corner of that kelp. And now it's going to come down to, how do I anchor? We have a whole series on how to anchor on our website, but everything works in conjunction. If you just want to drift by, if you just want to go drifting on by that spot, when you go by this upper corner right here, when you go by this corner and you're drifting, yeah, you're going to catch fish, catch. And then you're going to be down here and you're going to be eating your boogers, and you're going to be drifting along, eating boogers. And then you're going to go, hey, remember an hour and a half ago when we caught those fish? Where were we? Well, wait a minute. We were on that upper outside corner that Dave talked about, but we chose to eat our boogers today. Gang, you got to anchor if you want to be successful. I don't care if you're fishing for white sea bass, yellowtail, calico bass, barracuda, at the kelp beds, or at the spots at any of the islands. You want to anchor up, present your bait proper, and be involved in the whole increasing the prey density level in the water. If you're drifting through the kelp beds, or you're drifting over these rock spots that I give you, or these hard bottoms, or any of that stuff that we talk about on the website, if you're drifting, well, then you obviously didn't watch my video. You didn't pay attention to what I'm saying. And most people will drift by because their sisters, brothers, aunts, cousin caught a fish drifting one day. And so they're like, well, Jim's nephew caught a fish drifting, so let's drift. If you're a member of my website, gang, we didn't go out for one. Remember that. We don't go out there for one fish. We go out there for all of them. We want to catch fish every time we throw our line in the water. That's what I try to teach you how to do. If you're not catching fish, or at least getting a bite every time your line hits the water, then you're in left field. You're in la-la land. There's no current. You didn't anchor on the spot proper. You don't know any spots. You're not a member of my website yet. That's why you suck. You suck purely because you don't want to spend $9 and go over and check out my website. Or you suck because you don't want to drop the anchor. Even though you're a member of the website, you still don't want to drop the anchor. So you suck because you drifted by the fish's house. The fish are in their house. They're not nilly-willy swimming all over the ocean, just free swimming. No, they're at structure. Just like when those Dorado were out here, and there were some free swimming. But if you found a piece of seaweed floating in the water, how game on was it? Because that's their house. Same with the fishing the coast or the islands. The fish are at their house. When you drift by their house drifting, you catch one. Then you may not drift by another fish's house for an hour or so, but you might drift by their house again. You might get another bite. But if you learn how to anchor and you learn how to read the current, you're going to have a bite every time you throw your line in the water. Unless you're fishing with too big of a hook, the wrong kind of bait, have too heavy a line. But all these things matter. It's just like I tell all my clients, it's like making chocolate chip cookies. You can have all the ingredients in the fridge or in the pantry. When you go to put together that recipe of the chocolate chip cookies and you leave out the butter, they taste, you did everything right, but you left out the butter. They taste terrible. Same thing with the fishing. You can go to the spot. Current can be smoldering downhill. You can anchor up perfect on the upper end, outside corner of the kelp bed, or the upper outside edge of the hard bottom. Everything. Then you put on a 9/0 hook. You put a whole squid, you cut it into a big square piece, and you pin that square piece on a 9/0 hook, and you throw it out there with 50-pound monofilament line and a spark plug for a weight, and you don't catch a fish, and you're all, Dave, I went to your spot. Well, there's nowhere on my spot. on my videos that show you to fish that way. Gang, everything matters. Remember that from this point forward. If you don't remember anything else that we ever talk about, everything matters. So if you approach this fishing thing lazy, if you don't want to anchor up when you go out, don't go. If you don't want to make sure that you have the right hooks, the right bait, the right line, don't go. If you're going to go, make sure you got everything you need to be successful when you go. Don't be lazy. Don't go out there and go, well, you know, I only got 4 hours to fish. I'm just going to drift around the spots. Oh my gosh. If you went with me for 4 hours, I'll pull the damn anchor myself every time because I know how important it is. I'm not going to drop the anchor. I'm not going to not drop the anchor because we only have 4 hours to fish. I believe in my heart that if I'm going out fishing, we're going to go out catching. That's what I believe. You got to go catching. I have fished in the Gulf of Mexico a couple times, but it was trolling. It was not fishing spots. It was not fishing any of that stuff. So really, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know much about the Gulf of Mexico. I have friends that do, but I don't. Gang, it's super imperative that you follow simple instructions in whatever you do. Whatever you do. And at fishing, there is no shortcut. If you follow the simple recipe, though, you will be successful every time. If you go to our website, and I know it's scary to sign up for something that says free 14-day trial because there's got to be a gimmick. Gang, I'm right here for you every day. My phone number's on the website. If your credit card gets charged, call me up. I'll give you your money right back. I don't want your money unless you want to be on the website. I don't want to steal from you. That's not who I am. I own the website to the center of the earth. You have nothing to lose by going and looking for 14 days. You go check it out. If you don't like it, you can go away. If you just want to eat your boogers for the rest of your life and not catch anything, that's okay. But at least go look. At least go check it out. Go to yoursaltwaterguide.com and look. And you have plenty of people in your family that are going, man, what can I get? What can I get Dad? Or what can I get Mom? Or what can I get Jim or Jack or Joe for Christmas? You can get them a membership to the website. You can get them a cool t-shirt, a hat, a coffee cup. We have everything you need to make this a great holiday season for your family. I have everything you need. Knowledge is phenomenal. We give away a ton of knowledge every day on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. But where you get down to the meat and potatoes, where you get down to the game plans, where you get down to all this cool stuff that I talk about every day is on my website, gang. Nobody, and I mean nobody, ever put together a website like I have that is for you, that's going to talk to you. You can call me anytime. Anybody that says my website doesn't work, they never used it. They went on there, they paid the $9, they went on there and they never looked at a video, and then they bailed off because they're too lazy to even watch the video. They think that if they sign up for the website, they're automatically going to catch fish. Everything matters. When I take Kelly fishing, I don't just, oh, well, we're going fishing. No, I do homework. I figure out what the tide's doing. I figure out what the swells are doing. I figure out what kind of bait they have. I make sure I have the right hooks for the bait. I make sure I got the right line. I make sure that we're going to go fish for stuff that I want to catch. I make sure all that matters because Kelly wants to catch when she goes fishing. Same with you when you chartered my boat. Everything matters. I've taken all of that and I've put it for you all over on the website at yoursaltwaterguide.com. There's no downside to being on the website. Nobody else owns it but me. There's nothing scary about it. What I tell you, the very first thing you do when you sign up, call me. Call me and I'll walk you through how it all works. But gang, I just want to tell you all that because current is so important. And I'm getting emails. Hey, Captain Dave, can you talk about current? Can you talk about white sea bass? Can you talk about halibut? And then the next question I ask them is, are you a member of my website? And they say no. And I'm all, why? Why? My gosh, a spool of line costs less than a membership. Yeah. A spool of line costs less than if it's braid, it costs less than a year. You spool up a reel with braid, it's going to cost you more than it would for a whole year on our website. All right, gang? There's no downside, I promise you. I'll never let you get ripped off. I'm not here to steal your money. I'm here to help you catch fish when you go fishing. We have 3,700 members. Google my website. Google your saltwater guide and look for some negativity. You're not going to find any, gang. I'm not here to rip you off. I'm here to help you. I really, really, really wish you would all just go look. There's no harm in looking, and it's pretty cool. You'll be blown away. 400 plus how-to videos, game plans every Thursday at 3:30 in the afternoon for a little bit more. Plus, I will take care of you. Once you call me, I'll walk you through everything and how it all works. Go over there, check out the website. Kelly and I are going to go out and have a fun day down here in Cabo. It's about 85 degrees now. Beautiful. We're going to go outside, see if we can get my head sunburned now that I shaved my head. Well, Kelly shaved my head. Now that she shaved my head, it's time to go out there and get some sun on it. You guys, be kind to each other. Have a good day. Turn off the news. They're all lying to you. And we will talk to you soon. I will be here for you every single day, Monday through Friday, like I have been. On Wednesday, that will be our 1,000th show. 1,000th show. Can you believe that? I can't. It blows my mind. All right, gang. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. Be kind to each other. Bye.